What are we all missing right now, because it gets overshadowed by coronavirus news? There's a shady law trying to get rid of encryption. That would hurt online sellers since they rely on encryption to protect consumer information. Imagine the dent Amazon would take if the US population's encryption ended. If companies are smart, they will be against this. The bill is only for encryption used for communication, that is WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger for example would not be allowed to have any encryption until they proved they could effectively combat child predators. The bill doesn't define what is proof and what is not. So basically the feds would have free rein to deny any messaging encryption on any platform for any reason. Obviously this could be massively abused to invade the privacy of US citizens. It wouldn't apply to Amazon or other forms of encryption, and that's probably why it has not been lobbied against. Unfortunately the largest 11, maybe 12, I forgot which, companies that this would affect have pledged to follow through with it so they don't look like they support child predators. There's solid proof that the elected Colombian president campaigned with narco-traffic money. Most likely they bought the presidency for him. The last Ebola patient was discharged in DRC. Imagine their reaction when they come out and see this coronavirus mess.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Many companies such as Nike are currently under investigation for slave labor. This is why the CEO of many companies have been stepping down lately. Slave labor from the concentration camps in China. Don't forget Apple and Microsoft, Asus, Dell, Google, HP, HTC, Lenovo, LG, Nintendo, Nokia, Oculus, Panasonic, Samsung, Sharp, Sony and Vivo, among 82 others. Basically every major electronics, fancy vehicles, fancy clothing and shoes, etc etc. So the most high-end expensive products are literally being produced for next to free by slaves. Cairo is flooding because of a thunderstorm. Utilities have been off all day today. People's homes have been flooded, sewers are overflowing and there are injuries, possibly deaths. Not to mention the property damage in the millions racking up to private and public property. Cairo floods every winter due to lack of proper infrastructure, but this storm is severe. I'm in Cairo right now and I don't have electricity since today's my house is full of water which I have to empty myself, wish me luck. A second person was cured of HIV in the UK. I heard about this. It was because of a stem cell treatment meant for his cancer. But the cells in the transplant came from someone with HIV immunity. Yes, that's a real thing. So now he's cured. Truly amazing news. Parts of Africa and South Asia are having their crops decimated by a massive locust swarm, and it's estimated to impact the food security for about 20 million people. Locust, famine, viruses, all we need is a touch of war or raining sulfur, which makes us some biblical shit. I hear the US is firing missiles at Iran after troops were killed and that Turkey and Syria are skirmishing. Saudi Arabia and Russia are fighting over oil. Brazil is apparently removing diplomats from Venezuela. Do those count, or is the Red Horseman more of an all-out kind of thing? Virginia lawmakers have passed a bill that would see insulin prices capped at $50 per month, potentially making the state the third to set limits on the cost of the life-saving medication. Didn't Epstein's bank account just quietly shuffle away another $50 million? Not as important as a lot of other issues, but the whole Epstein thing has really fallen out of the news cycle. Oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Don't know much about it, but my jaw just about dropped on my way home from a semi-remote vacation and saw that gas was almost down to $1.90 a gallon in our city. Think they had oil going for like $30 a barrel or something. Oil price war combined with COVID-19 is what's tanking the US domestic economy right now. Not many people miss that among the coverage. Kim Jong-un trying to get the attention back by letting off fireworks in his garden again. I'm curious how severe coronavirus is in North Korea, given their relative isolation. Though I do believe NK has a strong relationship with China. Smugglers regularly cross the border between NK and China to bring in illegal goods like Western media and books. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them caught the virus and brought it home too. Arguably the best women's basketball player, Maya Moore, has not played the last couple of seasons because she wanted to focus on trying to release an innocent man from being wrongly accused. A couple of weeks ago she succeeded in that and he was released. Russian parliament passed a reform allowing Putin to stay president until 2036. Emergency powers to Chancellor Putin. I know it's pretty obvious, but the Hong Kong protests. Also Australia, after over 250 days, is no longer on fire. But that's because the fires were put out by floods. And then those floods will be put out because of a drought. It's kind of related to coronavirus, but I am a physician in one of the US communities currently experiencing a sharp increase in COVID-19 cases. Our local blood supply has reached critical levels due to many cancelled blood drives, as well as cancellations by regular donors who are trying to practice social distancing. Unfortunately, our blood product needs in the hospitals don't stop at this time. We still have many critically ill patients, bone marrow transplant, open heart surgery, etc., who need blood, and especially platelets. If you are young and healthy in a community impacted by COVID-19, please consider visiting your local blood center to donate, especially if you are type O or AB, or can donate platelets. Even if you are in a community not yet hit by the virus, consider donating, as many blood centers are part of a national network that can share products. The risk of getting or spreading the virus in this setting is relatively low, but you will be helping save someone's life. This is a small thing you can do right now to truly help someone in need. Long-time Reddit lurker but created an account to bring awareness to this, as I have not seen a lot of attention either on Reddit or in the news. Please help spread the word. Thanks for taking the time to read and hope that you and yours are staying healthy. GOP Senate cross-style to rebuke Betsy DeVos for collecting on student loans that were supposed to be forgiven. They went against Trump's rich buddy. She's still in her position though, despite the corruption. Koalas are about to be critically endangered. Edit, in NSW.